What is up, YouTube? Mark here with On My Mark Gaming, and I figured I would start off the new year with some stories.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Skyripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, and he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Lapino was no game changer, but could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
I think I'll go through the whole Skyripper story this time.
Every child knew about the Skyripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Renato wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it. As he set foot on the island, Renato could not help but feel a tinge of guilt. He'd left Lapino behind. He hoped the Mad Rabbit had somehow escaped the Ravens. He hoped they hadn't eaten him. If they had, he hoped they hadn't eaten him alive. Why had he chosen the Skyripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Skyripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? You know, ore is pretty heavy to carry. You know what's not? A new sword.
Yeah, well, give me a place to craft it. Speak and you shall be rewarded. Ooh, the fire sword.
This burning sword from the south was terrific for barbecuing sausages and ravens.
Interesting, so how do you equip? I don't think I can do any of them. No, I don't have any and I don't know where to get them. No, that does special thing. Ah.
Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No?
Nope.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Skyripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
2 skill points. Let's see. Yeah, sure, I'll go with that.
He was getting better
And faster.
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
Why the hell is that not breaking his shield? There we go.
Go back to school, Sedrado, in your next life.
Okay, but what's this way? Oh, I thought I saw something more.
What's there?
Ow, you bitch. Damn, I'm getting good at that. I mean, it's simple as hell. It's just the square button.
Sweet! A gem.
Awesome.
All he needed now was a workbench, and he could slot it into his gauntlet.
Oh, is that what you're calling it nowadays?
There had to be a way to use the Skyripper without causing a catastrophe. Why? Maybe it's always dangerous, he imagines Zenobia saying. Always the voice of reason, that one. Well, there had to be a way to use the Skyripper, because not being able to use it was boring. So there.
Sounds like me. No skill points. Shiny.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Well, keep on with the Skyripper.
He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, He had to get the core. Doubt sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Skyripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. That make any sense?
Surprisingly a little.
Hey! Hey, a workbench! He could try out his new bling.
Yeah, I don't have any new ones of those though. The water will probably be next. Winterthorn. Sounds like an Elder Scrolls sword. Ah, you bitch.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. When
I
Bernardo
need
went
help.
to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
Yeah, why could that
Almost
be?
never saw wild gogglers together like this. The toads had to train them not to peck each other to death. So these had to be imperial gogglers. That meant ravens were up ahead.
Yeah.
Renato hated gogglers, but it freaked him out to cut them. There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be. What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
Ow, you... This shit.
For a moment, I wished that somebody had been watching. Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
I don't remember this shit last time though. It was a simple ass puzzle. Alright, let's see. Do I want to go with some level 2s or continue upping these?
Cool. Wish I could do that.
bitch.
Really wasn't making a dent in those shields.
I'm not too fond of those frickin' big ones behind the shields.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But
Right.
maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Let's see. What would I do? Well, I'd probably test it out myself. Fuck it.
Renato had never been
Why let the
much of a
scientists have the fun?
student. At Swordfu school, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. I'm Zenobia. But weapons, he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists, right? Renato actually could think of a few things that were worse. But he would make sure they didn't happen this time. Right? Exactly. As he set out down the path, Renato wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction. And, hopefully this time, just his destruction. What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Stand here and fucking starve, I guess. That was cool. Can your health regenerate at all, or?
There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
All I'm getting is energy. I fucking need food.
He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Skyripper. It made strange, mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum. The Skyripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
No, I don't think so. Yay, health. It's not much though. I need more.
Where was a workbench when you needed one? Oh, never mind.
Do I have another one? Oh, I do. Crit chance. Nice.
no freaking, like health potions or anything. Oh. That motherfucker doing shit on its own.
The Skyripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them.
Bernardo had a thought. Please? He asked. The Skyripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame.
Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far speaker toad came hopping out. "Bernardo!" It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia. "Don't use the Skyripper. It will destroy the world." "Yeah, sure it will," cracked Bernardo. "Pull the other one." "If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras. He'll tell you the same thing." Oh, she would say that. That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating.
Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Skyripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Fuck it. Why stop there and why trust your enemy?
Just this once, he would not let Zenobia get into his head with her logic and her wisdom and her appeals to reason. He was a fox. He'd go with his instincts, and it would all work out like it always did. Oh, he was sounding like a reckless idiot, even to himself. But if there was one thing Renato could never bring himself to do, it was turn back on a decision he'd made.
Alright, well, I think I'm going to, shit, I kinda already started, didn't I? Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop right here, and then, yeah, post the last half of it like I did earlier. So, here's a little preview of next episodes.
Maybe they hoped to find and destroy the base before he could put the Skyripper into action. The Skyripper was whining and heating up. It will be time to use that energy soon.
Alright, so, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.